everyone, Justine with BlueJay Orchids. Welcome to another Orchid Wine Down Wednesday. We have our last bottle of Keel and Curry Winery. Bring it over. It's the Sweet Blueberry. And let's see, Best Served Chill. And then this fresh fruit wine is made from 100% high bush blueberries grown in sunny central Florida at our farm located in Plant City. We ferment our blueberries on the skins to produce a deep color and a full-bodied taste. And again, beautiful bottle. Here's a little bit about their winery. Sorry, it's hard to see with the camera. And we're gonna give this one a taste. Smells good. Their sangria so far has definitely been my favorite. Although the others were really good too. So, as always, remember to drink responsibly. Yeah, responsibly, please. And cheers. Yeah, you can definitely taste the blueberries. It's pretty good. Okay. So, I have been busy. I am working on several projects. I am waiting for stuff to open up. I have a bunch in bud and spike. I need to spray my pesticide still and probably some fungicide. We've been having a wetter winter than normal with a fair bit of rain and some temperature swings. So fertilizing will help keep the plants healthy, even though some of them aren't in active growth right now. Just adding a little bit of help. There are some you don't want to fertilize though. Like, I don't have any in here. The Den Nobly, I'll put a picture, let's say about here-ish, I'll put a picture. The Den Nobly, they love the cold, but you don't want to fertilize. Typically in my area where I grow, you don't fertilize Den Nobly types from Thanksgiving until you start seeing buds. So a lot of mine are budding, like my Den Nobly hybrids. It's interesting though because there's certain ones that bud very late. All my other ones have started, and there's this one that just always is late, which is interesting. It must be mixed with something that blooms late. But that's not exactly what I want to talk about tonight. So you can see I have some orchid guests with me. So I have some of my own plants, which won ribbons in the Venice show. And I have a sneak peek of some of my hall orchids. So I was pretty behaved at the Venice show. I only got 4 orchids. Which, when you're super addicted to orchids like I am, that's pretty good. And a lot of the orchids I got were not super expensive either. I got 3 from Carl Smith and 1 from Brethren. But I'm going to focus more on the haul in the next video, which is going to be with the displays and the other footage I have from the Venice show. And then I'll probably highlight the winners again as well. But for right now, yeah, I guess we'll jump right into the ribbon winning. All right, so this is a pretty fun story. I almost pulled it because a lot of times if your display, like your Orchid Society display, if you're entering orchids for the display, they can't use something if there's no way to transition the color. And this was just such a deep, dark purple that there was no way to transition it. But this is a Pachura Delight. I actually got this at from a Camella box order as like a little baby. It tried spiking once before, I think about here, but it rotted or thripped or something. So this is the first time it's bloomed for me. Pachura Delights can get fairly big. And I'm very happy with the coloration on it. And obviously I wasn't the only one. So first place ribbon's pretty cool. And give you a little view of it. Just was very happy with how the color turned out on it. Good shape too, and just such a dark purple on it. And the plant itself's pretty good. I had a funky leaf here that I took off, but the rest of the leaves look pretty good. And then I don't think I'm gonna grow it in this. I just put it in this for the show. But we'll see. I haven't decided what I'm doing with it. But since it's a first place winner, I might think about taking better care of it. See if it can go better. So there's that one. Have another Vanda here. This one just blooms for me all the time. It has some freckling, some mechanical damage, but overall it's a very happy plant. Has a baby too that blooms with it. So the keiki here, this is actually the second time the keiki's bloomed already. I mean, it's not a big plant. And the mother has bloomed a bunch already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 times already. But yeah, just very, very pretty. And then this one's nice because it's a color changing. So it will start out kind of more tan like this, and then it gets almost like dark purple chocolatey color. Long name though. Come on. But yep, another first place. And I'm actually growing it in a dollar store basket with big charcoal. And I grow it on the side of my house. It hardly ever comes in. The burning is from when it fell over once, because the way I had it hanging, it decided to dive. And then it got burnt before I could catch it, but it's a pretty easy grower and it blooms a lot, so I'm pretty happy with it. Put a total of 4 orchids in the display, and 3 of my 4 got ribbons again. Excuse me. And 2 got first place ribbons. And then this is my last one that got a ribbon. This one got 3rd place. If you look in some of my previous videos, you'll see this in better bloom. But this is starting to fade, and I don't know why. Like, the 2 flowers kind of went in like opposite directions. I feel like if both flowers were kind of the same way and it opened a little better, could have placed better. But this plant definitely has potential. It's just, it's still a young plant. I mean, this is only the 3rd time it's bloomed, 2nd time it's bloomed in my care. So I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this one. I think it has potential. It's definitely like a favorite of mine. It's very easy to grow. It just lives under my oak tree. It just hangs there, it gets watered, it gets fertilized when I get around to it. Most of the time it doesn't come in, unless we're gonna get like a frost. And it blooms on each new growth. So, oh, and it smells really nice too. So that's Chief Sweet Orange is the name on that one. I actually picked it up as a $10 tent purchase from Palmer's. Probably, I don't remember what year. Let's say 2-ish years ago, give or take. Sounds about right. So, figured I would just give you kind of like a rundown of what I've been up to. So, we took a little family vacation with our RV, went to a county park up in the Orlando area called Moss Park. Was very pleasantly surprised. That area is really nice. Has anyone on my Instagram saw like the drive to like the campsite? So it's actually like really wooded. The RV space is nice. There's parks for the kids to play at. So yeah, the kids had a bunch of playgrounds to play on. They had a great time. Went to SeaWorld one day. And I managed to convince my husband to go bag baby shopping with me. So anyone who doesn't know what a bag baby is, it's what we in the orchid community call orchids that literally come in like a little bag. You can find them a lot at Home Depots, Lowe's, places like that. And then like the big shows, sometimes the international vendors will bring like orchids in bags. So they've just developed the term bag baby. But you can find a lot of good plants as bag babies. I was looking, I don't have any right now. I mean, I do have them, just not in here. But yeah, I found a couple good bag babies lately. And I did find 3. So I went to a Lowe's. They had good things, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I'm really looking for like a blue volcano queen. Shocking, I know, me looking for a blue orchid. But yeah, there's a blue volcano queen that I've seen some other members in like my orchid groups have found, and I would really like to find it. And I've been hunting for it, no luck yet. But that's kind of the fun, looking for like your next orchid that's on your wish list. So I'm still hunting for that, but I have found and gotten in trouble finding other stuff along the way. So I'm trying to remember what I picked up. I found, I'm trying to even remember the color. I think I found 2 like kind of, I found one like pearl-like looking one, and I found a white with like purple splashes. And then, oh, the other one that is interesting is Chief Rainbow, I think is the name. I'll double check. But what it's crossed with, it has Chief Sweet Orange as one of the crosses. So I'm curious, there weren't any bloom pictures for it, but just because this is one of the parents, I was very curious and wanted to see what it would be like. And it was also like a good plant, like it had good new growth. And yeah, I was excited to see how it would do. And I haven't decided how I'm going to pot it yet either. I'm thinking I'll just throw it in a basket like this and put it under the oak tree with this, because this is one of the parents. If it's happy, if this is happy where that is, then the other one will most likely be happy where that one is, if that makes sense. And then, depending on who you talk to, sometimes people will discourage you from bag babies. But if you know what you're looking for, you can find some good stuff. It just depends on your area. Because some Home Depots and Lowe's, like, they're not going to take care of stuff. But if you get them soon enough before they're exposed to a bunch of stuff, orchids don't like living in a plastic bag. But if you can get them soon enough, you can definitely get some good healthy ones. And if you look, there are tags. If you can see the tag and you see the date of the tag, the date of the tag is kind of when it was repotted. So if it was, or just when it was switched to that setup. So if you find older dated ones, your chances of it blooming sooner are better, if that makes sense. Because when they ship them out or when they're in that setup, they're about a year to 2 years to bloom. But say you find one that says like 2022 on it, most likely it's going to bloom within this like growing season that we're coming up on, because it's been there for a while. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm kind of feel like I'm rambling. But the main point being is we went on vacation. I managed to still find some orchids on vacation. Then we came home. I got the orchids I was taking to the show ready. Next day drove to Venice, dropped off the orchids, hung out there for setup day, helped with our display, the society that I belong to display. And bought 3 orchids from people on setup day because I have a problem. And I didn't go Saturday to the show, I just went Sunday, because when you leave plants, you gotta pick up the plants on Sunday. And you can't pick them up till after the show ends. And then, you know, with show season coming up and going to shows, I'm reminded again of, I know I talked like once, like show tips and stuff. I'm reminded again of show etiquette. And I'd say most people are good and most people don't want to do anything wrong on purpose. And I think when there are people doing things a little like orchid etiquette wrong, I think they're just doing it because they're excited. But one of the things coming from someone who puts their orchids out there for people to look at and judge and be part of displays, sometimes my orchids end up on the individual table. And just because they're on the individual table does not mean I really want them, like, you know, kind of handled a lot. Like, it's one thing if I'm moving my flowers around, looking at it and stuff, or if, like, a judge is doing it, that they're gonna award the plant something. But just someone looking at the flower, like, you can look at it and admire it without, you know, like, harassing it. Like, and sniffing it's fine. Most of the time you can get a scent from about, you know, this far. Sometimes you have to get up in there. But, I mean, you don't have to, like, go like this, touch the leaves, shake it around. I feel that you can look at it, get a pretty good feeling for it without touching it. Because you have to remember, these are people's plants that they spent either years growing to get to the point where they're blooming and show worthy. We put a lot of time and money and pride into putting a plant in the show. And the last thing we want is like a bunch of people just kind of hitting them and doing crazy stuff to them. Like, some of the stuff people do to them is just a little unnecessary, in my opinion. And it's different too if you're like looking for an orchid from a vendor and you're really considering buying it. If you're considering buying that orchid, yeah, you want to pick it up, you want to turn it from different angles. Maybe you want to gently lift the flower up to make sure you don't see anything underneath. Kind of like, you know, just gently kind of look around. Look under the leaves, you know, turn it around and stuff. But on the individual table where like orchids are there, they have ribbons and stuff, you're not going to buy them. There's really no reason for anyone to be like obsessively touching them. And I mean, if you're trying to get a name, you know, like maybe you see a tag here, like that's different, that's fine. But like, you know, jostling everything around on an orchid that you have no intention buying. And that's why when I do footage at shows, you'll notice like I don't pull tags, because I have filmed in the past and I've like bumped spikes. I don't want to do that to vendors. I don't want to break flowers. The last thing I want to do is, you know, that plant made it from wherever they were growing it, made it all the way to the show, and like I come and I'm just trying to get a tag and I knock over a flower. A lot of the time, if there's a plant like further back, I'm short, so there's a lot of stuff I can't reach. I'll get the vendor's attention. I'm like, hey, is it okay? Can you hand that to me? Or is it okay if I reach over? A lot of the vendors, like if you ask, they'll be like, oh yeah, you're fine. Like if you knock something, it's no big deal. But I personally just, like, I feel bad whenever I hurt a plant. And I mean, there's people that obviously don't. But if there are orchids in displays, I just feel like it's the unwritten rule where you don't really manipulate them or try to do things to them. Unless you know whose plant it is and you have the okay from them. Like, if someone came and asked me, is it okay if, like, I move something and it was my plant? That happened to me actually when I was filming. There was a ribbon over the name of one of the plants, and I asked someone, hey, is it okay, can I move the ribbon? I want to, like, get a picture of the name. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, here, I'll move it for you. See, like, something like that, that's acceptable, that's great, and a lot of people actually respect the courtesy you're offering. So I feel like this was a little bit of a rant tangent thing, but I just, after putting my orchids on display, like, I really like showing my orchids, but sometimes seeing what people do to orchids, like, I don't know if I'd want to put, like, my most amazing orchid out there. Seeing what people do to orchids sometimes, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, maybe that's the wine talking, whatever, but yeah. But yeah, so I'm very excited about participating in the last 2 shows, and I've won a fair bit of ribbons, and winning ribbons is really exciting, especially like the best Oncidium. So I want, like, my goal next year, or like, you can also enter other times too, it's just you gotta do more work. I really want to win an SOA, or the dyslexia is kicking in. Whenever I have to put like initials on stuff, it messes with my brain. So I'm gonna actually, American Orchid Society Award. So an AOS, there we go. That sounds correct. But yeah, I really want to win some of those awards. So what those awards are, it means you have the best plant out of all the plants of that specific plant. It's like dog show that has ever been judged, basically. And there's different levels. And I'm not, off the top of my head, I don't know all the levels. I know there's like highly commendable and a few other like levels. I'm not concerned as much with the level. I want to really win like one of those awards eventually. I'm not expecting them anytime soon. I'll keep entering shows and keep growing in, you know, my knowledge, my orchid taken care of, and my orchids. And yeah, I think it's a fun goal to have. And like, you actually get like a little trophy if you win an AOS too. So I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm definitely, like, when I'm looking for plants, I'm looking for plants I like, but I'm also looking for like really good flower quality as well. Because the flower quality is the main judging point. Like, you can get docked for how the plant displays and foliage and stuff, but what everyone really cares about is the size of the flower, the flatness of the flower, and the quality of the flower. So when I'm shopping personally, that's mostly what I'm looking for. And I get like seedlings and crosses that I think will be interesting, you know, just for the fun, the surprise, and because there's a potential they might be blue. But yeah, sometimes a blue and a blue actually make a pink though. So you never really know what you're gonna get until you get it, unless it's a clone. But that's kind of fun. I like doing that. But yeah, so I've gotten 4 first place ribbons, 1 second, 1 best of ribbon, and 1 third. So I've gotten both shows I put 4 orchids in. And I got 4 ribbons the first time. Because I got 2 first, 1 best of, and a second. And then this time I got 2 first and a third. But it's just a lot of fun. If anyone is interested in learning more about shows or judging, I encourage you to join your local orchid society. It's just a good way to meet other, basically, orchid nerds. And you learn a lot, and it's very helpful to be around other people in your growing environment, because everyone has their own way of doing things. And I always remind people whenever I'm doing my videos, like, this is what works for me. And I remind people of where I'm growing. I'm growing outside in Florida. I'm not North Florida, I'm not South Florida. I'm a little bit further south than Central Florida, but I stay pretty warm most of the time. We're cold right now, we're going to get down to 49, but that's not, aside from Vandas and a few baby orchids, it's not a big deal. And, I mean, we have so much humidity, we get so much rain, like, we have native orchids here, so, like, we're designed to grow orchids here. It's kind of like cheating in a way. And yeah, I feel very fortunate to have the opportunities I have around here. And also very fortunate to have a supportive husband who's going to make a little appearance. I bought him a shirt. I think it's kind of funny, and I think you guys will appreciate it. And let's see. I know I'm teasing you with the new orchids, but I'm not showing them to you. You're going to have to wait till my next video. But I will. This is a new one from Crawl. Smells amazing. That's a new one from Crawl. And over there is a new one from Crawl. But yes. Like I said, I am saving them for the next video. Next video should be out shortly. I just have to edit it, do some voiceover stuff, get a little bit more footage. I have Mr. BlueJays, and he is wearing his new shirt.
Yes, my wife designed this shirt. It's very appropriate. But, okay, check out some of her shirts she has. They're really cool.
Oh, it's not an ad.
Huh?
It's not an ad.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, just...
What, you like my shirts?
Yeah, just check out some of the shirts.
It's not an ad, but this is kind of funny, though. So it says Orchid Support Person, and then it has their jobs. So their job is to carry extra plants. What's that one? Go to shows. Oh, drive to shows. Mm-hmm. Hand out money, and never complain. Yeah. And then look, see? They're actually carrying orchids on the shore.
See, that gentleman's very cooperative.
Yeah, you don't normally carry my plants.
No. I carry the wallet.
Oh, sometimes. You want to taste this one? Hmm?
That one's good.
Yeah, not as good as the sangria, but it's still good.
Yeah.
You can taste the blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
It smells fun, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, you didn't go to the Venice show with me, but you were very nice and you watched the boys for me. So, yeah. I guess maybe we should add, like, babysitting on the shirt.
Yeah.
You did go with me to Sarasota.
Mm-hmm.
We went the last day and we were going to get lunch, but I kind of got distracted by plants.
Yeah.
So, we were kind of there all day.
Yeah. But,
he filmed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you kind of notice about being in the orchid show?
Noticed there was definitely a lot of cool vendors, a lot of different other vendors other than orchids. Like there was a cool art vendor.
Oh yeah, you talking about the Aaron? Is it? I'm really bad at names. Paisley? No, that's a singer.
No, I don't remember his name, but
there were a couple.
Yeah, they had the cool artwork, which is cool.
Yeah, the artwork was fun. They also had like an air plant person.
Mm-hmm.
And Sandy had some art too that she did, which was like really pretty.
I did notice that some people were like trying to look at orchids, people were pushing me out of the way, and it's like, some people get very serious,
How do you always get pushed out of the way? Like, people are scared to do that to me.
Yeah. No.
Because that happened to you last time.
Yeah. I must like look like a very tempting orchid buyer, very tempting to people.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, it was fun though.
You're kind of impressed by like the displays and just, I mean, you do like plants. As much as you complain about the plants, you do actually like plants.
Yeah, I do like plants, just can never admit it.
What?
Just can never admit it in front of my wife. Next thing you know, we'll have orchids everywhere.
Hey, I'm pretty good about, unless it's freezing, not bringing them inside.
I know, yeah.
Do you need more of this? Yeah, he was nice to come on for a little bit. He's been working all day. And our kids are asleep, so we are half functioning adults right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell what's new and what's old? Or no clue?
They all look very nice.
That means no. So this is why I keep getting more, because he doesn't even realize when there's a new one. He just thinks it's one that rebloomed. I love you.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
So do you want to talk at all about our vacation we took? I talked a little bit about Moss Park.
Yeah, we took a vacation to Moss Park, and it was fun. Did you see did you see orchid in the tree or something, or like a?
I saw an air plant.
Yeah, or we're close to air
really
plants.
Cool air plants.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too cold up there for orchids.
Yeah.
There's good woodpeckers.
Yeah.
I said there was like a water lily or something that reminded me of an orchid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so should we just sign off, or is there anything else you want to tell our viewing public? They do actually like you. They want you to be on more.
I know. I'll try.
That was the thing. But in all fairness, I do think the shirt's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a good like gag gift for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, I do have this shirt too. This shirt's probably one of the better designs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, aside from that, hopefully you learned something. And we are trying to get him on, but he's not always the most cooperative. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's obviously too tired. So we're going to sign off before it gets even weirder. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Justine, and this is...
Bob. No.
I told you it would get weirder. I told you it would get weirder, people.
Justin, yeah.
Our oldest son has a thing, and it's a game that they play where it's like, what's your name? And we say Bob. So, like, you have to be there, basically. But now it's an inside joke.
I'm sorry if I offend any of the Bobs out there.
Okay.
Watching.
Well, we might have some bloopers.
Yeah.
All right. Can we have a nice sign off?
Yeah. We're going to do it just in time. Get it just in time.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm going to do my sign off, and then whatever comes out of his mouth, I don't care. I'm turning off the camera. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep growing.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, he did a nice one. Loose.
Let's start over. Huh?